Client questions and vegan fitness myths part 1. Today, I'm going to run you guys through 10 questions asked by my clients. Some of these are vegan fitness myths as well. And I'm going to run you through with my experience of working as a coach for 4 years. I've worked with over 400 athletes. I've been vegan for 19 years, bodybuilding for 16 years. So I've learned a thing or two, hopefully. And I'm going to share that with you guys to hopefully speed up your journey from getting you from point A to point wherever the heck you're trying to go. So let's go ahead and jump in. I'm going to go ahead and do question 1 here. Should I wear a belt, specifically while deadlifting? That is a great question. A lot of people don't know the answer to that. They think a belt, oh, that's strong, it's safe, it's going to help protect you. But a belt will not protect you from bad form. If you have bad form, you're just as likely to get injured with a belt than anything else. My personal best dumbbell RDL was 220 pounds in each hand for 8 reps, and I did it with no belt. And why? When you wear a belt, it helps brace your core, which is great. You're able to take your core and push into the belt, but that pushes your stomach out. And when you push your stomach out repeatedly, time and time again, it's more likely to give you a blocky waist. So if you're trying to be a bodybuilder or in a physique-based sport, the belt may actually eventually do more harm than good. If you're a power lifter and you're trying to set some sort of world squat record or something like that, then use your belt. But if you're a bodybuilder, if you're trying to keep your waist tight, I recommend just bracing really tightly with your abs. Don't push out, just brace tight instead of blowing all that air out. That's going to be the best way for you to train, and you can still get extremely strong. I've done my best lifts without a belt, so I don't think that it's necessary. Question 2, do dietary fats matter if I hit the rest of my macros? Well, yes, of course. Calories in versus calories out. If you are taking in more calories than you're burning, you're going to be gaining weight. If you're taking in fewer calories than you're burning, you're going to be losing weight. So yes, fats matter. Now, how much do they matter? Do we need to avoid them at all costs? I would say no. For both men and women, fats are essential for hormone production, skin health, brain health, things along those lines. So you do want to include dietary fats. They don't have to be extremely high. They just need to be reflective of the rest of your macros. So if you're going to follow a lower carb diet, you might need to put your fats a little bit higher just to get enough total calories in the day. Very general baselines here for women. I don't really like to take them under 35 to 40 grams of fat a day. Men, more like 45 or 50. Those are kind of my bottom line numbers. So yes, dietary fats are extremely important. I love things like flax seeds, chia seeds, almonds, guacamole or avocados, things like that, macadamia nut oil, really healthy fat sources. And of course, you can get your omega-3s from algae. You don't have to get them from fish. You can get them straight from the source. So a few different options to get your dietary fats. Question number 3, should I do fasted cardio? I'm actually going to need a little bit more information about you before I can answer this one perfectly. It depends a little bit on your goals. Are you in a bulk? Are you in a cut? Are you a man? Are you a woman? Have you been dieting for a long time? What really is the secret or the sauce behind the fasted cardio? Fasted cardio does allow you to burn fat a little bit faster. However, it burns it at that moment, whereas if you do cardio later in the day, it might burn fat throughout the day. So with the fasted cardio, it's not super special. I feel in a contest prep scenario or with a certain client, if it fits their schedule better, fasted cardio might be great. But if you're a woman and you're already training a lot of days per week, fasted cardio might cause your cortisol levels to rise. So fasted cardio really just depends upon the individual. If you are going to do fasted cardio, I highly recommend that you use yohimbine HCl. It's going to allow you to burn more fat while you're doing your cardio, and it only works in a fasted state. Question number 4, cardio before or after lifting? I have been asked this question ever since I got into the gym personally about 15, 16 years ago. And the answer is most definitely do not do your cardio right before lifting. If you do your cardio at 7 a.m. and then you go train at 5 p.m. and you've had a few meals in there, totally fine. But don't show up to the gym at 5 p.m. Go do 30 minutes of hard cardio and then tell me that you had a hard leg day, because you'd be lying to my face. There's no way that you can do hard cardio for 30 minutes and then go train legs or arms or any other body part to the same extreme that you could if you had trained the body part first. I always say prioritize muscle building. This helps you burn fat and burn calories off more in the long run versus just a single cardio session. If you want to do your cardio post-workout or in the morning or on a separate day, those are all perfect. Just don't do your cardio before lifting your weights. Question number 5. Does exercise order matter? I get this all the time from clients. They're like, hey, you sent me the list and I'm supposed to do this and then this and then this, but can I do it backwards? What if the gym's packed? At the end of the day, do your darn best. If the gym is packed and you can only go in the order that you can, do that. But if you're asking what is optimal follow the exercises in the order that I have them listed. For example, on your back day, you're probably going to have in your program a lat pullover where you're doing an isolation movement to get your lats warmed up. This isn't to grow you into the biggest, strongest, leanest, sexiest human alive. It's to allow your mind-muscle connection to get with your lats, get some blood flow in there, and then be better able to perform on your next exercises more safely. So exercise order does matter. Do your best. If you can, follow it the way I've listed it out. Question 6. Waist trainers, do they work? In a vacuum, yes, they work. And I don't mean a vacuum on your waist, but a waist trainer can help to give you better mind-muscle connection and realize how much you're letting your gut protrude out. What I would recommend, if you're really interested in getting a waist trainer, make sure you're already tracking your calories. Make sure you're already training. Make sure you're already doing cardio. Make sure you're getting sleep and hydration and taking all the supplements you should be, addressing any hormonal needs. Do all those things. And then if you still want a waist trainer, you can get one. And I would recommend using it during cardio, maybe throughout the day, as a way to just stay more mentally in tune with how much you're letting your stomach stick out. You can also wear them while driving. I usually do them anytime I'm on a drive more than 2 hours. I'll wear it because it gives me something to do in the car and also keep my waist a little bit tighter while I'm driving. Normally while I'm driving, I might let it out a bit. The tighter you can keep your waist throughout the year, the tighter it will look on stage. Question number 7. I heard creatine is bad for my kidney health. Well, you can hear a lot of things. That doesn't mean they're true. Kidney health is going to be largely impacted by blood pressure. If your blood pressure is high, whether or not you take creatine, whether or not you eat a ton of protein, whether or not you use other drugs, if your blood pressure is high, you're harming your kidney health. So make sure your blood pressure is in check. Do your cardio, make sure you drink enough water, don't be too overweight, things along those lines. But creatine, is it going to do anything bad for your kidneys? Not whatsoever. Kidneys are meant to process things like creatine, meant to process things like protein. As long as you have normal kidney function, there is no reason to not take creatine. I would recommend creatine for every single person on the planet, including my own mother. Not only will it help with muscular endurance and size and strength, those are all things that most people want. It also helps with brain health, neurocognitive abilities. For all those reasons, it's great to take creatine. I recommend 5 to 10 grams per day, every single day. I've been taking it myself for like 16 years now, guys. Question number 8. You can only digest 30 grams of protein per meal. I guess technically not a question, but still, I've heard this one a lot. 30 grams of protein per meal. Where did that number come from? Does that mean I can just eat 5,000 grams of protein and not get fat? The answer, no. Your body is not some horrible machine that just cannot deal with anything more than 30 grams of protein in a sitting. Our bodies are meant to survive. If we found an animal in the past and ate a ton of protein thousands of years ago when we didn't have places like Walmart and Publix to go buy non-animal products, your body's not just going to be like, oh no, it's too much protein, I'm throwing this out. No, our bodies are going to use it. Now, do you need more than 30 grams of protein per meal to build muscle? That might be a better question. I typically say around 40 grams is where we get optimal muscle protein synthesis. If you're getting 40 grams of protein 4 to 5 times a day, you are doing about the max of what you could do dependent upon your body weight. Depends a little bit how big you are. Me, I get 370 grams of protein a day on training days. That's more than the average person needs. Unless you're a 250-pound competitive bodybuilder, don't do what I do. But don't worry about getting 35 grams of protein. Oh no, I'm not going to digest the last 5. Yes, you are. You don't believe me? Go eat 5,000 grams a day for a little while and watch yourself get fat. It will happen, I promise you. Question number 9. How do I get complete protein from non-animal sources? I've heard that plants don't have protein. I've heard that plants have incomplete protein. Well, there's a lot of myths out there, and this is another one. Plants do have complete proteins. Things like quinoa, things like anything from soy. So tofu, TVP, edamame, tempeh, all of those are complete protein sources by themselves. Now, here's where you'd run into an issue. If you say, hey, I'm just going to eat beans for 3 days straight, nothing else, then yes, you might be more high in some amino acids and lower than others. But if you do beans and rice, well, the rice is going to be higher in some amino acids and lower than others, and then they form this whole complete protein, but it's not based on per meal. It's throughout the day. Again, our bodies are efficient systems, and they can use these proteins almost like people from a construction site. Maybe they get bricks delivered on Monday, and then they get later in the day on Monday plywood delivered, and then they build a house on Tuesday. Like, they use the materials to make this happen, and so do our bodies. If you think that you need to get complete protein at every meal, because you need to eat animals to make that happen to look like this. You would just be wrong, because I've been vegan for 19 years. I've not worried about getting incomplete or complete proteins. I've just been worried about total protein intake from a variety of sources, and you can too. Question number 10. If I go in the sun enough, do I still need to take vitamin D? The answer is 100% of the time, yes. I have yet, in my experience as a coach, working with over 400 people, seeing blood work from over 100 of them, found a single individual to have optimal vitamin D levels just through the sun. There's a few different things at play here. So there is less vitamin D coming through the sun as compared to before, because ozone layer is getting messed up. All these people not eating vegan diets are contributing to pollution and things like that. So we can't be in the sun for as long or we get burned. The other problem is the darker your skin is. People like me, people of color, they absorb less vitamin D through the sunlight. So if you're really pale and you're thinking, oh great, I'm just gonna go get vitamin D in the sun, then you're gonna go get sunburnt and get cancer. So the best thing that you can do is take vitamin D3 with a meal. I would say 5 to 10,000 IU per day is where I put most of my clients. And this is going to ensure and be a safety net that they're in the optimal range of vitamin D. Why do we wanna take vitamin D? Brain health, overall mortality rates, bone density, mood. It's like the simplest thing to do to take this one pill a day to get so many benefits. So I recommend every single person on the planet, if you can read, listen, or see this, go take your vitamin D today. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in. Hopefully you learned at least one thing from these questions. If I missed something, if there's another question you have, drop it in the comments below. And please be awesome. Hit subscribe, send this to a friend. And if you guys want to work with me, I'll have my application below as well. I'd love to take you on and teach you step by step how to become the best version of yourself that you can be. And I will see you guys in the next video. Bodybuilding Vegan out.